Hey guys, how are you? I'm not at home, but I still wanted to make a video. As you know, it's the 19th anniversary of September 11th, and I was doing a lot of thinking this morning, so I kind of wanted to just chat about that for just a second. And then I want to read you a poem that I actually heard, I believe, a week and a half ago, and it has been haunting the crap out of me. It was written in 1919. I was watching the Glenn Beck show. He read a portion of it. It's his favorite poem, and it is eerily relevant, almost word by word, um, uh, of what is going on in our country today. It will haunt you probably the same exact way it haunted me. And then at the very end, I have a little short video that I want to show you to make you feel warm and fuzzy inside, because amidst all the darkness that has been happening over the past few months, today, I have a lot of hope. And so I want to spread that hope with you. Okay, so September 11th, when it happened, I was in 10th grade. It was second period, and my teacher turned on the TV. And when she turned on the TV, at that point, we're watching real time the Twin Towers. And when she put it on, only the first tower had been hit. And we sat there, 15 years old, in school, we sat there and watched as the second plane came in and hit the tower, and we watched real time as the towers collapsed. And I remember the sentiment all around the country, right after this happened, the weeks and months after this happened. Our entire country sort of came together, and it was beauty that sort of came out of the ashes of this tragedy. It was 19 hijackers, 3,000 people killed, and the entire country was brought to its knees. And there is this huge appreciation for law enforcement and firefighters, EMTs, all of these people that in many cases sacrificed their own lives to run into these burning buildings and save as many people as they could. There were so many heroic stories that came out of this, and there was just a consensus and just a widespread just admiration and respect for law enforcement, firefighters, anyone that went into those buildings, even the EMTs, the doctors who worked to save people. But as you and I know, that's not the sentiment in our country right now. And I spent a lot of time thinking, how did we get to this place? How did we get to this place of demonizing our officers, demonizing our ICE agents, comparing what's going on the border to concentration camps, and the media and elected officials demonizing police officers? And when you look at the actual numbers and what's true, it's not true. They're pushing a false narrative. Our police officers are not hunting down unarmed black men. In fact, they are more likely to be killed. Our ICE agents do incredible work on our border, and these are the people that keep us safe and protect us. So how did we get to this point where the mainstream sentiment is that police bad, president bad? President Trump was nominated 2 times this week for a Nobel Peace Prize. The first one was announced on Wednesday. It was his Israel-UAE Accord. And then the second one was announced this morning. And that was for his trade talks and economic development talks with the governments of Kosovo and Serbia. Nominated 2 times, and the media is silent about it. I did see one story. I'll show it to you right here. This was an opinion piece in The Atlantic, and it says, "End the Nobel Peace Prize. The Trump nomination shows that peace had its chance and blew it." So this individual thinks that he's smarter than the government in the Middle East and this person who nominated the president for a Nobel Peace Prize. So I was thinking a lot about that, and I'm going to kind of segue right now into this poem. I'm going to read it for you. Like I said, this poem came from, I discovered it on the Glenn Beck show. It's his favorite poem. This was written in 1919. Okay, the poem is by Kipling, and it's called The Gods of the Copybook Headings. And copybook headings are things that calligraphy students used to do, and they would write maxims or just phrases that are known to be universally true, and they would repeat them over and over and over and over again on their pages to practice their penmanship, basically. So that's what a copybook heading is. And I will read it for you right now. Story time with Sarah. Poetry reading Snaps. Okay. As I pass through my incarnations at every age and race, I make my proper prestations to the gods of the marketplace. Peering through reverent fingers, I watch them flourish and fall, and the gods of the copybook headings I notice outlast them all. We were living in trees when they met us. They showed us each in turn that water would certainly wet us, as fire would certainly burn. But we found them lacking in uplift, vision, and breadth of mind. So we left them to teach the gorillas while we followed the march of mankind. We moved as the spirit listed. They never altered their pace, being neither cloud nor wind-born like the gods of the marketplace. But they always caught up with our progress, and presently word would come that the tribe had been wiped off its ice field, or the lights had gone out in Rome, with hopes that our world is built on that. They were utterly out of touch. They denied that the moon was Stilton. They denied that she was Dutch. They denied that wishes were horses. They denied that pigs had wings. So we worshipped the gods of the market who promised these beautiful things. When the Cambrian measures were forming, they promised perpetual peace. They swore if we gave them our weapons, that the wars of the tribes would cease. But when we disarmed, they sold us and delivered us bound to our foe. And the gods of the copybook heading said, "Stick to the devil you know." On the first Fenian sandstones, we were promised the fuller life, which started by loving our neighbor and ended by loving his wife, till our women had no more children and the men lost reason and faith. And the gods of the copybook heading said, "The wages of sin is death." And the carboniferous, I don't know what that means, epoch, we were promised abundance for all, by robbing selected Peter to pay for collective Paul. But though we had plenty of money, there was nothing our money could buy. And the gods of the copybook heading said, "If you don't work, you die." Then the gods of the market tumbled, and their smooth-tongued wizards withdrew, and the hearts of the meanest were humbled and began to believe it was true, that all is not gold that glitters, and two make four, and the gods of the copybook headings limped up to explain it once more. And it will be in the future, as it was at the birth of man, that there are only four things certain since social progress began: that the dog returns to his vomit, and the sow returns to her mire, and the burnt fool's bangered finger goes wobbling back to the fire. And that after this is accomplished, and the brave new world begins, when all men are paid for existing, and no man must pay for his sins, as surely water will wet us, as surely fire will burn, the gods of the copybook headings with terror and slaughter return. A lot of the social justice ideas that we're being presented with today, I'll just take a random one, for example, like the idea that if you are, we have Robin DiAngelo, the author of White Fragility, saying that if you are white, you are inherently racist. And that goes against all ancient wisdom, all religious teachings. You know, if you're a religious person, we're all children of God. No one should feel guilty for something they have no control over, the color of their skin. And the crazy thing about this poem is it actually had the line in there, 2 + 2 = 4. I'm not even joking. Look it up. It was a debate on Twitter. People were trying to argue that 2 + 2 does not equal 4. So some of the examples in this poem that was written in 1919 are so relevant today. So I was glad I was able to share that with you. Let me know what you think about the poem. And I want to leave you with something, because like I said, I do have hope. I have hope that truth will prevail and goodness will prevail. And here's something kind of nice to end your day. This is a video of Trump's rally yesterday in Michigan. And again, let me know what you guys think. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you. Don't say that, I'll start to cry, and that wouldn't be good for my image. You don't want to see me cry. I'll start to cry.